If you've read Fearless Writing, if you've listened or watched this podcast, you know I like to talk about the flow state. This is also what I call the writing frame of mind. It's the frame of mind you have to get into in order to write. And one of the great things about being in that frame of mind, aside from that's where you produce all the work you'd want to share with people, that's where you do your best work, it also feels great. It does. Life doesn't really get any better than being in that creative frame of mind, being aligned with the creative flow of life. That's as good as it gets. But you know what's the interesting thing about that? The rest of our life, one of the challenging parts of writing specifically is that the rest of our life is interactive for the most part. We're reacting to things and people, our environment, things we read, our pets. It's interactive, and that's great. That's the big part of life. It's why I love teaching. In particular, is I get to interact with other people. But when we write, there's nothing to interact with. It's just us. And that's the challenging part of writing, that when we sit down to write, there's nothing, it's just us, the blank page. And so we have to go within ourselves for everything that is going to be all the creation that is going to happen, unlike in a conversation where we interact with people, like an improv performance, unlike when we hear something and it reminds us of something else. No, it's just us and our ideas. And from that, we can create any story that we want to tell. And so that's the challenging part of writing, I think. I think that's one of the challenging parts of writing, but it also teaches us a great lesson, which is that when we're in that frame of mind, when we're writing like that, since that's as good as life gets, we won't feel any better than that. It reminds us, if we let it, that we are responsible for our own happiness. 100%. Because there's nothing else there. And we're not even dealing with the world. The only thing we're dealing with is our thoughts and our focus. And if we focus correctly, we focus in the way we want to, we feel as good as we can feel. And we feel as powerful as we can feel. And we feel as deliberate as we can feel. The challenge comes when we leave the desk and there's all these things we interact with. And we start feeling like whether we're happy or sad or how we feel is dependent upon those outside conditions, what people say to us, whether someone wants to publish our work or not, who gets elected and what they're saying and who's shooting who and all this kind of stuff, right? And I get it. I get it. I get it. You don't have control over that stuff, and it's powerful and it influences you and it creates thoughts in you. I get all that. And I have to watch, and we all react to it. We get caught up in the flow of other people's stories and other things that are happening. But the truth is, and writing teaches us this, at the end of the day, we're responsible. We're still responsible for our own happiness. It just takes greater awareness out in the world when there's things we're interacting with to remember that. Can't cede our well-being to other people. And to know that other people are responsible for their happiness too. You know, my relationship to my wife is as important a relationship as there is. And one of the big lessons you have to learn in marriage is you're not actually responsible for that other person's happiness, and they're not responsible for yours. And yet you love each other and you care about each other and you lose sleep over each other and you get mad at each other and you're rejoiced by each other. And yet at the end of the day, you're responsible for your happiness and they're responsible for theirs. That's the truth. And writing teaches us this again and again and again. Again and again and again. And it's a good lesson to learn, man. It's the best way to relate to yourself, and it's the best way to relate to other people. It's true. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, thanks for tuning in. As always, hit subscribe if you don't want to miss a dose of this inspiration. And if you like it, say so. I want to hear from you. So until next week, this is Bill Kenower. Stay fearless.